darkness of the night, the tale unfolds of love and death, where passion and desire takes hold through the fight and the flames. The story's told where dragons roll and hearts they turn cold. Fantasy, dreams collide, two souls entwine, the secrets they can't hide in love, a burning flame that cannot be denied, but destiny has plans where true love's divine, flames of passion burning bright, love and death, an endless fight.
Well, welcome, guys, to our podcast, Mages and Sages. Just so you know, I think I told John earlier, is that we're just recording this. We're not doing anything live, okay? Because we tend to goof around a little bit, so we
digress.
we digress a lot. So of course it is, because we have Ed with us. That's the reason too, and me. So we can introduce ourselves if you want. My name is Jeff Thetford. I'm the one who I started this podcast. I've been a gamer since 1978. I've been a friend with Ed since 1999. Been a fan of the Realm, been a fan of Waterdeep, all these games that are coming out that you guys have been doing the deluxe editions on, or the silver editions. And I'm just glad that you guys are here so we can talk a little bit about the stuff that you guys do. But let me let the other guys, I think you know Ed.
Hey,
Ed
Ed.
of the Greenwood.
Yeah. Hi.
I mean, he's the man who wrote Waterdeep.
Yeah, yes. Right. No, I wanted to make him introduce himself just because he probably hasn't had to do that in about 30 years.
Yeah, Ed, go ahead.
It's all good. I'm kidding.
Raised by head shrinking cannibals in the jungle. No, actually, I work under ladies in a library.
That's right.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well, neither do they.
This is why we
by day he's a mild-mannered part-time librarian. By night he is a gamer and writer. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, right.
Makes it sound like a superhero identity. I like it.
It is. The spandex clings so much. No, lower down. It's where it clings. Up here, I bulge so much. Anyway.
So you see now you see why we record this and then edit it for later.
Yeah. It's starting to become clear.
Yeah.
We're going to get 15 minutes out of this one way or the other.
Curry, introduce yourself before I get in more trouble.
I'm Curry Russell, Carbuncle, tag along, habitual fangirl. I hang out with these guys completely by luck. Jeff was my dad's best friend growing up, and Jeff introduced me to gaming at a very young age. And in 11. That time where, 11. In that time where Jeff and I were gaming, just buddies back in the day, we both fell in love with the Forgotten Realms via Ed and all his inspiration, and then got a chance to work side by side in some development and playtesting with the guys at TSR for a little while. And that's how we got to know everybody. And we've been tagging along ever since.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
All right, how about you guys?
Yeah.
Bill, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm Bill Rare. I'm one of the 5 founding members of Beadle Grimms. I'm a Libra. I like long walks on the beach.
Oh, this is good.
I like a good Chateau Lafitte room temperature.
Jesus.
My brother Charlie is one of the other founding members, and he and I started playing D&D when we were 9 or 10.
Okay.
In Search of the Unknown, I think, was the first one.
Man, yeah, we all started there.
Yeah. So
Speak for yourself, Jeff. No.
That's true.
So just really happy to be here. Really grateful to be invited. So thank you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Thank
you. All
you.
right, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Ciccolini. The reason I'm here probably could be traced way back to the day that Matthew Lillard asked me to be his roommate in,
Oh my
that's cool.
God.
in acting school. And I foolishly agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wore the? No, never mind.
You don't know you don't want to know what went on in that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All kinds of bad.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
we started playing Dungeons and well, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons well before I met Matthew, but we brought it up again while we were in acting school, and that's where I met Bill and one of our other partners, Paul. And so, yeah, the rest, as they say, is nightmare.
Aha. Yeah. Yes. I was going to say this is so American. You guys went to school to be actors. You see, in Canada, we just grab random people from the audience and throw them on the stage to sob, wail, and wet themselves in front of the audience, and it seems to work out just
I
fine.
was going to say, in retrospect, I think we could have saved a lot of money doing it.
Yeah, you think so?
And a lot of time.
That is
It's like your
fantastic.
sports teams; they practice beforehand. Where's the fun in that?
Less and
Hey,
less.
that's Canada. You think you could do better? We take you right out of the audience and let you play quarterback.
Yeah.
It can't be any
Don't-
worse than the guys we have.
That's true. That is so true.
Oh dear.
So the
Okay.
question is, who thought of the idea to come up with Beadle and Grimm to begin with?
You know, it was a long process. The five of us were all kind of going through sort of a midlife crisis kind of thing where we all had, you know, successful careers in different things, but we're looking for something that was just a little bit more satisfying than what we were doing. And
Right.
and we'd always been looking for ways to work together. We've all worked together in various things, and Matt and I did a film together, and you know, we've all worked on creative projects here and there over the years, but we were looking for something that would bring us all together. And I think Matt got invited to the, what was it, Stream of Annihilation, was that one? I think
Mm-hmm.
we got invited to the Stream of Annihilation, which was an event up in Seattle that WotC hosted. So this was all very much in our minds, and we were talking about what we could possibly do as a business to sort of extend this hobby that we all shared. And I brought up the idea of I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, and Matt directed a really wonderful movie called Fat Kid Rules the World, and the guitarist for Pearl Jam, Mike McCready, did the soundtrack for that movie.
Nice.
Talk about digression. You'll see how long this story can go on. Anyway,
By all means.
You're
Go right
fine.
ahead.
so Mike McCready did the
I'm going to go have dinner. I'll be right back.
Yeah. John's maybe heard this once or twice. So they were trying to raise money for distribution for that film, and one of the things that they offered were these big box sets that Pearl Jam put out for super collectors, and it was, you know, it had vinyl and it had collectibles and all this sorts of things in this big box set. So I brought that up and I said, you know, the music has these sort of special super fan editions of their products, but we don't really see that in the gaming world right now. And is that something that we could translate over? And then we started all talking about how, you know, when we were kids and we had more time than money, you would create a lot of this stuff yourself. You would, if you had a handout in your game and you were a really devoted DM, you would write it out on brown paper and then you'd burn the corners on your stove, and
Yep.
you know, you'd try to make it look really
yeah.
cool to have something
Oh yeah.
something to hand to your players that would make, you know, give them a wow moment. And so we started bringing those kinds of stories to the table, and we realized that we had all sort of indulged in this stuff in one way or another over the years. And that was sort of the launching point of the notion of what about these people who are our age now, who in some cases, their time isn't as free flowing as their money is, and
Right, right.
they want to have a great experience when they play the game, but they don't have all that extra time to prepare all this stuff themselves. How can we assist them in creating that experience that they remember or that they are hoping for?
Hmm.
Oh,
So
that's
this audience can't be gamers because they have money.
That's right.
They have to have other jobs.
Well, it's like it depends on how you come about your gaming stuff. So when I was growing up, I was a assistant manager in a toy store in Texas, and I managed the books in the Dungeons and Dragons area. And then my boss was my DM, and he would say, "Hey, take these home and see what you think about them." And I would conveniently forget them at home. So I have a whole stack of these things. But as you get older, you have that freer income that you can use. There's no way 20 years ago I would have bought the Waterdeep Heist because my credit card only had a $1,500 limit on it, I think.
Right.
But now it's like I can go, hey, I want this, I want this, I want that, and I could buy it, and it feels good it feels good to have these things available.
Hmm.
For people who really appreciate one, Ed's writing, The Forgotten Realms, Waterdeep, all these things that you guys have been putting out. But it feels good to have it in such a more serious faction, I guess. The way things are coming out now, they aren't just, the cheaper stuff they used to put out back in the 80s and so forth. But yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, look, one of the beautiful things about D&D, in my opinion, is that there's basically an infinite number of ways you can play it.
oh God.
And every group of people who comes to a table is going to do it in their own way, and it'll all be the right way. And for some people, this is the right way. And we're really glad to be able to provide them with a means to do that. And for other people who want to play a different way, God bless, that's fantastic. But we just want to be a small part of that sort of new marketplace that is empowering people to play the game in the way that they dream of. And that's the best we can do.
I mean, I played in a couple of games at my public library in the 80s that were definitely the wrong way to play.
Oh,
But
you
in
found it,
spirit,
did you?
Bill is right.
I've had a few of those. I've had a few of
There
those.
is one wrong way.
There's
I found it at the public library.
there are
Oh,
ways
well.
you can muck it up.
But I get Bill's what he's saying though. If you're playing, there's no really wrong way to play the game itself. How you play the game for the players is different completely, of course.
Yes.
But no, you're right. You're right. Anything that gets people playing, anything that gives them joy, I think it's fantastic. But how did y'all come up with the name Beadle and Grimm?
Well, Beadle and Grimm were two characters that were in a campaign that I DM'd.
Oh, really?
One of them was Bill's character, and one of them was Matthew's character. And those two character names just sounded right together. Beadle
They do.
was a northern barbarian.
No,
Grimm
Grimm.
was a northern barbarian, and Beadle was Matthew's dwarven rogue / wizard.
Do you remember what the details of that campaign, John? That was the first big campaign that we played together. It was very cool.
It was homebrew, and it was very much centered on giants. The giants. It was a northern campaign in the world of Greyhawk, and it was giant based. And so Bill was running a barbarian that was built to slay giants, and so he had a field day in that campaign.
It was a good time.
Those are great. No, they're great names. They sound actually more folklorish than anything. I thought maybe the Brothers Grimm, they were trying to pull something off with that, you know. So that's awesome. Ed, do you have any questions right now for?
Yeah, I want to know what you're going to do next. What are you going to publish
Yes.
that is going to thrill me in I don't know, 2 months? because 2 months from now you got to put something new out.
Well, we have the Ring of Chaos coming out soon. I mean, I know because I just paid my shipping.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, I just, it's funny. I just got the prototype boxes. So
Look at
this
that.
is the factory prototype of the Platinum Edition.
Nice.
Oh my God.
And this is the factory prototype of the Standard Edition. So we got two very different layouts for these. So yeah, that's really, this is the first thing we've done that was entirely ours from beginning to end. We're not working with a licensor or somebody else's IP. And seeing it come together has been really, really mind blowing and exciting. So.
Yeah, I'm
So that's
excited
been great.
to get it in my hands. I can't wait to get it in my hands. So,
Well, I really appreciate your supporting it.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anytime people jump in on a Kickstarter, I can't thank them enough because it's always a leap of faith, no matter who you're doing.
I do it until my wife yells at me and goes, "What the hell is this charge?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's research. I
Yeah.
swear to God, it's research."
Yeah, right. It does
It's a
get
write-off.
addicting.
It's a write-off.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a write-off. Yeah.
My accountant said I had to do this.
That's right. I told me I had to spend money. I swear to God.
Yeah.
This is where you tell Sharon, the guys were all collectively having this midlife crisis together, and it could have been a $30,000 Harley.
No.
I'm buying these games instead.
No,
Trust me, I'm doing you the favgo.
that's
right.
not going to work because she's going to say midlife crisis. Why isn't it a sex dungeon?
There you go. Again, the reason for the recording and not the live show.
Hey, I'm just being brutally
But
honest
they're not mutually exclusive. We can
Yeah.
have both.
This
right.
is also
That's right.
true.
Oh my God. So as Ed asked, we're moving along. Sharon not excluded. What's next on the table for you guys?
Well, yeah, so for D&D, one of the things that we're working towards right now is we are taking pre-orders for our Platinum Edition of Vecna, Eve of Ruin.
I saw
the
that on your
high
website.
level- yeah, that's the epic level adventure that was just released. So we're taking pre-orders now. We're targeting an August ship date. We haven't done a Platinum Edition in 2 years, so we're super excited about that project, and it's been doing well for us. I think people are excited about a level 10 to 20 epic adventure. Those are hard to find in 5e. So I think that those are rare and people are jumping on it. And
Well,
then
especially with that subject of Vecna is not only hot because it's a great subject in D&D, but because on Stranger Things they named the monster Vecna. So it's been getting a lot of airtime with people who like to watch those shows. So I think it's awesome. Is the box set the same size as the Waterdeep Heist?
the Platinum, yes, it'll be
it
the
is.
same size. And this one will also be wrapped in like a faux leather, a beautiful faux leather
Very
with,
nice.
with foil. It'll be pretty.
Oh my
Pretty.
God.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a business expense I may have to have now.
Yeah, definitely. So
You talked about it at work, so
Yeah.
That's right. Hey,
why
we
not?
talked about it. There you go.
Yep. So what makes you guys decide this is going to make a Platinum Edition?
It's a really good question. I think it's really just sort of a gestalt feel about, first and foremost, when we get the advanced copy from WotC, or any project we work on, the first thing we do is just try to think of it from the DM's perspective and the player's perspective about what is the sort of dream scenario of how this would play out. And then we try to put that together and figure out what kind of box that might look like. And some of them have, this one, for instance, there's so many maps in this thing. There's so many just iconic, fantastic locations in it. There are some artifacts in this that are are really important to the story that we really wanted to make sure we were honoring and including. And then, just the there definitely is an aspect of what we think will be most desirable. You don't want to put out a $500 box for an adventure that fewer people are going to be really super excited about. So, we do try to be careful about that, and that's a bit of a guessing game, but for the most part, we really try to let it be driven by what the story is asking for.
We've been wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Really, truly.
Well, I mean,
what
there
didn't
there are
work?
things when I'm thinking about Waterdeep now. There are things that were like obvious, as in, oh, good, I can actually have the coins in my hand
For
Right.
sure.
and spend them and fondle them, and that's sort of like, oh, that's a gimme. Oh, I can wear the badge of the watch when I'm playing a watch. Oh, and those are sort of like gimmies. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, no brainers. If
We
you want
were
to,
we
but
were kind of spoiled by Waterdeep, to be honest. Like
Really?
that was maybe 5 years, 6 years later, I think it might have been the single best adventure for what we do.
Yeah.
It
mm,
just had so much in it that was so perfect. Like you said, the factions are a great thing to make badges for. People
mm,
identify with that. It has an active role in the story. It's not just a peripheral kind of, hey, by the way thing. It's really important. Um, the whole thing with the Troll Skull Tavern in that set, people made a whole sub adventure out of
yeah,
owning the Troll Skull and what they would do
Really?
and how they run it, and being able to include elements of that was great for people. Like, and so anyway, yeah, I don't know that we'll ever get another one that is as perfect for a platinum edition as that box was, um, but thank God, really, because if you're going to start out, you want to start out with one that's just that perfect, where you can really show off the possibilities of everything you can do.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of tailor-made, but yeah,
Yeah.
and I was killing myself when I read that because it's like, oh yeah, Troll Skull. Vola wants to get rid of it for income tax reasons,
Right.
and we we managed to get gamers interested in income tax.
Yeah.
How did we do that? God, we're miracle workers.
That's
No.
right.
Here's the
Part two, Vecna does his taxes. Or something
here's
like
the
that.
here's the profit margins that you can get as part of running this tavern. And yeah,
The platinum edition
Actuary
includes an
tables
Excel
stuff
spreadsheet.
they're not in there, but you can buy actuary tables now.
Oh
So you also
dear.
have what? You have the Fandelver, the Shattered Obelisk. Also,
Yeah.
is that because some of these I have to admit I have not seen.
Mm.
And
yeah.
Jeff, you should blow your wallet more often.
I
Yeah,
really
right.
should. I really
Yeah,
should.
Fandelver's a great set, and that is a we were really excited that they did that story because it's such a sort of classic down the middle old school dungeon crawl kind of adventure. Not
Right.
not that there's anything wrong with the more sort of out there stuff, but it was really cool to have to come back to that, and people really responded to it very well. It was very popular, so that was great.
Yeah, and it's so well known. Like Strahd is our bestseller.
Is
Oh,
it?
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
the legendary edition of Curse of Strahd is by far our bestseller. But Fandelver is recognized like that one and is doing very well.
yeah. And then, John, we can talk about Staircase a little bit, right?
Yeah, we can. We've
Sure.
said that we're doing a premium edition of it.
Yeah.
Dragon soar across the skies in this tale of love, where sorrow lies, where sorrow lies.
La 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 la.